guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about the books that I read last month, and you are going to be so disappointed in me. I read 2. That is it. I'm disappointed in me. Like, normally I can read like at least 4 in a month, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the book, the size, how much entertaining is it. But I don't know what it was. I wasn't really in a reading mood, but I did manage to read 2 books, so I'm going to talk to you about them. Okay, so first is I'm doing a sort of challenge, a goal of reading 1 non-fiction book a month. I've been loving it. I never thought of myself as a non-fiction reader. I always like fiction, you know, stepping away from reality a bit, but no, I'm really enjoying the non-fiction books. So I read Go Gently by Wright, and it was okay. It was educational. There were things in here I didn't know about. It's about steps on how to nurture yourself and the planet, and I mean it says it right there, but like it tells you like things you can do as an individual, because you're like, oh, I can't do anything because like the government doesn't help out, or companies don't help out to like reduce carbon emissions. But it's like, oh, I'm only one person, what can I do, kind of thing. But in this book it tells you there are things you can do to like lower your carbon emissions, go more green, use less plastic, and there's like tips on how to eat better and how to move your body gently, like just by stretching and doing yoga, and there are pictures inside. So there's recipes and things like that. So it was a good book. She gives you tips on how to like sort your kitchen out, because let's be honest, your kitchen is where most of the problem is. I keep a lot of plastic because of all the food that you get and things like that. So she's like how to store food so you don't waste it, how to get rid of it, like compost instead of just throwing it away. She mentions the bedroom, so you reuse your clothes. If there's a hole in your clothes, you just fix it up yourself instead of getting rid of it. It was a good book. It wasn't the greatest book. Oh, she talks to scientists and environmentalists and things like that, and so she's like, well, what can we do? So it's not just her views and her ideas, but she also talks to professionals and they have suggestions on what you can do as well, and it's just so good. The only thing is, I don't think it was worth the money that I spent on it. It was £20, and I don't think it was worth more than 14. I'd say 14 because it's a hard cover, but yeah, I don't think it's worth £20, but it was an enjoyable read, and I would give it 3 stars, I guess. Yeah, 3 stars. It was good. I learned things, but it could have been better, I suppose. And like I said, it wasn't worth the price that I paid. So that's that book. The second book that I read, and is my book of the month, was Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I think I'm saying that right. Not my typical book. Like, I don't know. It's not my typical read at all. I think it was the first LGBTQ plus book that I've ever read. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice read. It wasn't heavy. there were scenes in it that I hope are in the film adaptation, and I'll be very annoyed if they're not. So basically it's about the first son of America, and he falls in love with the Prince of England. Well, his title is the Prince of Wales. He's I think he's the middle child of the royal family. And so the American thought he was straight, but now it turns out he's actually bi, and the prince is gay, and he's like, oh, I'm definitely gay, and they fall in love, and it's basically how they can be together when, like, everyone thinks that they're straight, and everyone thinks, like, protocol and stuff like that, and it's like, how are we gonna be together when I live in America and you live in the UK? But they make it work. It's a really nice story. Nothing horrible happens. I really don't like horrible stories, or where they break up but then they reunite like 20 years later. I hate that kind of story. So it was a really nice story. I gave it 4 stars. I really loved it. Looking forward to the film. But yeah, it was a nice book. It's quite a big, thick book. It's 118 pages, so it's quite a thick book. I think it took me like a week to read, because I was only reading at night before bed. But it was a good read. Highly recommend it. 4 stars. Book of the month. And as I said, I'm very disappointed I've only read 2. But that happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm in a really reading mood, and sometimes I'm not. And this month I just wasn't. But I managed to read the 2 books that I said I was going to read, so that's an achievement. What books did you read in Feb? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.